What's up, guys? So recently I was asked, or I was answering some questions on my Instagram, and I got to think about one, a little bit more now, because I just shoot those right off. Giggity. Anyway, a trend in social media fitness that I would like to see go away, and that is speed running a following to become an authority figure and speaking as an authority figure. I can't stand it. Like, I'm okay with gaining the following before you put in the work. All right, that's the world we live in now. If you want people to come along and enjoy your journey, be an inspirational figure, be a comedian within fitness, share your personality as you go along and build out a following before like you're really experienced in fitness and do that as you go, fine. But when you've only been lifting for 6 months and you're coming out here, Ronnie Coleman would have been bigger if Arnold would have had better biceps if he had trained this way. Dorian Yates would have had a much bigger back if only he had trained like this. And you're a 160-pound 20-year-old who can't bench press 2 plates. Like, shut the fuck up. Who the fuck are you? Like, seriously. Those videos really piss me off. Like, that'd be like me saying, "Oh, Tom Brady would have been a much better quarterback if only he had done it." Like, who the fuck am I to say that? I've never played the fucking NFL. I've thrown a football. I've played catch with my homies. I've played some backyard games of football, but who am I going to tell Tom Brady? Like, oh, his throwing mechanics were slightly altered, and, if he would have had a 47 degree of angular velocity and vector instead of the 47.5%, he would have thrown this ball 10 yards further and, potentially gained 100 more yards per season over his career. What? No, it doesn't work that way. You don't know. Like, you don't know. And I blame that one on Dr. Mike. He started with the whole, oh, if Ronnie Coleman would have used more range of motion. And I'm a range of motion guy. Like, I like more range of motion generally for hypertrophy. But we don't know. Like, maybe if Ronnie Coleman would have used more range of motion, he would have gotten a crippling injury sooner and wouldn't have won as many Olympiads as he did. We don't know. We can't say these things for certain. Dr. Mike, I will at least give props. He's competed. He's lifted a long time. That's still a fucking terrible take. But it coming from him, it's, I can take a little bit more, mouth diarrhea from somebody who has the experience, versus these modern influencer wannabes. And those videos, and then here's 5 reasons why I'll never do a barbell bench press. And it's like, look, bitch, here's 2 reasons why you should do a motherfucking barbell bench press. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you've never done it, how do you know? And that's the thing. These people haven't put in the work. So how do you fucking know? You don't know. You don't know. You can read whatever fucking studies you want on well-trained individuals. When you look at the numbers of these well-trained individuals, they're not very fucking well-trained. And again, most of these studies are not on advanced lifters, even the ones that say they are. Again, look at the fucking numbers. They're not on advanced lifters, all right? If you want to do a study, use your 2 fucking eyeballs and look at what advanced lifters have done and are doing, okay? Because those are 2 different things too. Because a lot of these influencers now, who they're getting this from, they're seeing these people talking about stimulus to fatigue ratio and things of that nature. These are guys who have been lifting for 20 years. All right? Maybe squats aren't worth it to them now. Look 10 years ago. They were doing 3x10s, 5x10s. They were doing super squats. They were doing deep water. They put in the work with those movements that aren't worth the fatigue, bro. I'll never ever do a barbell squat because it's unstable and it's not optimal for quad hypertrophy. They did it. They're saying they don't do it now. They did it before. Almost. There's exceptions. Everybody's not the same. We're all a little bit different, but we're mostly the same. Almost everybody was doing these bad, fatiguing movements. A lot to get to where they are. Now they're trying to sell you something. So they've got to be different. But the big difference is they put in the work to get where they are. You have not. You're going to make these rage bait videos. You're going to get some traffic. You know, they pop up on my Instagram feed all the time. You're going to get some views. Maybe some people are going to stick around and follow. Then what? What do you have to offer? What is there? You're going to preach all these fucking methods. It doesn't look like it's fucking working, does it? Because you're small as fuck. Right? I can take your deadlift max and I don't even bench press it. Not because I can't, but because I fucking skipped that number in my warm-ups. Who's going to stick around and listen to you? Right? Because that's the thing with these big rage bait videos. And I'll go look sometimes. You'll see one of these videos go viral. And it'll have 500,000 views, all kinds of comments and engagement and stuff. And then their page, 600 followers, 700 followers. And it's a 3-month-old reel. Nobody fucking stuck around. There might be a little bit of traffic on the next 2 reels after that, and then it goes away. The internet's fickle. And what are you going to do? You're trying to make another rage bait video to get that dopamine fix again of a viral video. Trying to come off as an authority figure. Nobody's going to fucking listen to you because you're small, you're weak, you don't have a body, you don't have a body of work. There's nothing there, so why? You got to have something else. Cool. Good job. You triggered some people. Awesome. Maybe somebody stitched your video or something. How many times is that going to happen? How many times are you going to catch that lightning in a bottle? It doesn't happen a lot. And again, maybe some people are going to stick around a little bit longer to ridicule you. Nobody's coming to learn from you because you don't have anything. You're reciting the same studies that another person who already has a big following, who does have the body of work behind them, is citing. So why are they going to follow you? They're going to go follow that person. What do you have to offer? You're going to coach? Why? Nobody's going to hire you as a coach. You don't have to be world class to coach somebody. But you got to have fucking something tangible there. You gonna sell merch? Nobody's going to buy merch. You're fucking small. They don't want your fucking merch. They came to comment on the rage bait video and they're leaving. They're not sticking around because you don't have nothing to fucking offer. Build yourself up. Get some skin in the game. Bench press. Look, you want these? You can't have these. You want these. Do some fucking bench press, bro. Fuck your machine. It has its place. Get some experience. Get some knowledge. Get some real world feel. You might like bench pressing. Oh no. I like a non-optimal movement. Oh shit. What am I going to do now? I like this. Bench pressing feels good. My titties are growing. Oh, man. Now what? Now you're getting somewhere. All right? So, again, get your following. I'm okay with that. 5 years ago, maybe I wouldn't have been. Maybe I would have had a little bit more to rant on. But again, that's the world we live in. I'm cool with that. You know, if you want to try to make social media your career or whatever the case may be, or if you just want to inspire and help people, any or about whatever you do, you boo, you do you. Get your following, but just know you're not an authority figure. You're not a knowledgeable person without having the experience, without having the skin in the game. People ain't gonna stick around. That's just not going to happen. What you should do, all right, You can read your studies. But again, the people with the body that you want or that you aspire to have, with the lifts that you want or aspire to have, what are they doing now? But more importantly, what did they do to get there? Because you are not there yet. You are getting there. What did they do to get there? A lot of them, what they're doing now, they did not do to get there. There's things I do now that I didn't do to get here. Now, there's still a lot of things that I did to get here that I still do. I'm not a hypertrophy guy. My pecs are bigger than most of the hypertrophy guys. Funny how that works. My shoulders are alright. My traps are alright. My biceps, they exist. But what did they do to get there? Because that's where you are now. You are not there. They are here. They're here. They're there. You're here. You need to get there. This in between. What were they doing then? That. Look at a bunch of them. Pick your 5 or 10 favorites that most line up with what your goals are. All right? What do they have in common that they are doing now? But more importantly, what do they have in common that they were all doing to get there? Do that and shut the fuck up. You can talk a little bit. Be inspirational. Say, this is my journey. Be funny. Be a comedian. Be a thespian. Enjoy the fine arts of theater. Whatever the case may be. Don't preach as a fucking authority figure when you're the same size as my 10-year-old son. It's not a good look. Peace.